Welcome back for another OG Show Live. Mr. Randall, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Reel Down.
Welcome back to another episode of Bass Fishing for Noobs.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to once again the Bass Kayak Beers.
Brother, this is the final cast.
Another segment of Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the paddle fin.
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Feather and Fur. Your host, Brad.
Welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Crystal.
Hey, welcome back to Off the Water.
Happy Suzuki here with Adventures of Outdoor Woman podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast.
We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Eastport Marina on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, go to eastport.info. Yak Gadget. For all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs, go to yakgadget.com.
As sure as a duck's ass is watertight, you're listening to the final cast. Matt didn't think I was going to say that.
I love it. I didn't know what you were going to say. Literally, for everyone listening out there before the show starts, it's like, I'll start it off because I got something to say. And I was like, what? Like, I'm gonna go off. And I was like, all right. So I had no idea that was coming. I thought it was going to be completely different, but I'm here for it and I like it. So I'm
I did that on purpose, man. I was trying to throw you off a little bit because I was like,
You
I'm going to go on a
definitely did.
rant because I was kind of like in a mood earlier when I was texting Matt.
Yeah, dude, you've been in a mood all day, which is, I mean, it's understandable. I know exactly. For everyone out there, life comes in waves, and most of those waves are over your head and can be very frustrating. So I know right where you're coming from. 100% deal with it all the time.
Yeah, it's whatever though. I'm good now. We're doing a show, and I'm pumped. So
Let's
what's
do it.
up?
I'm about it.
What's new?
Oh, not a whole lot. I went out today, went duck hunting. We saw a total of, I don't know, we saw like 6 flights of geese, but they just wouldn't decoy in, so they never got close. And then we saw maybe 10 total ducks, and most of them were way far off. We only had a possible shot on 2, and they were high shots. So it was just I don't know, it was a weird day. Couldn't get any ducks to come in. So it is what it is, though. I got to be outside and see the sunrise, which is always a good thing to do when you're out there.
You should have quacked your quacker.
I was quacking my quacker a lot, and I got 2 of them to come in, and then they seemed like they were decoying really well, but they just wouldn't commit to it. So with me, I was with 5 other guys, and we were just like, screw it, man. They've circled 5 times now. They're just not decoying. So the last pass was the lowest. We all took shots. I hit one. It flew maybe another 400 yards away in the middle of St. Mary's Lake. 2 of them landed, and only 1 took off. So I killed 1. It's just in the middle of the lake, gone, which sucks because it was a big old fat northern mallard. So
You need your kayak, man.
I didn't bring the boat, and I thought about it too. I was like, because where we hunt, it's only maybe waist deep.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to bring the boats up there because I didn't want to bring the trailer because I have both boats right now, and I didn't want to do all that. So, yeah, but I should have, because then I could have just pedaled out and got it.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It is what it is. I was outside. Again, I got to see the sunrise, which is something a lot of people don't get to see in day-to-day life. I tell you what, though, I was up at 3 a.m., picked dudes up at 4, drove out there, got home. Oh, duck hunting wasn't great, but got some lunch after. And then I was looking, whenever I go to major lakes or anything after that gas station we did at Dale Hollow Tackle Shop, I looked at tackle shops around major lakes, and it was called the Outdoor Shop. It's by St. Mary's Lake, up in Salina. And I walked in there. It was right next to a gas station. So I automatically knew there's going to be some fire in there. No mega bass, which is upsetting, but they had literally everything Z-Man. They had all the new chatterbaits, all the new finesse baits, all the new heads, they had everything. And they had a ton of evergreen stuff, and you already know what I'm about to say. They had shower blows, 105s.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to have you pick me up one. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on evergreen stuff because
yeah. So I picked up 2 shower blows, the black one like you have, which is like the cracked like finish or whatever. And then they had a bone color, so I picked up a bone.
Two colors you need right there.
Exactly. And they had both of them. I got the last two, which was dope. Then I had somebody reach out to me and comment on, they were listening to the Jerkbait show and they were talking about the Jackal Rearranger, which we did. We talked about it a little bit. Yeah, we mentioned it. I hadn't really fished them a whole lot. I had one or two, but I don't know where they're at. So they had those, so I bought one of those.
Nice.
And then I bought a couple. They had Joshies, so obviously I bought some Joshies, and they had the bright red Joshies, so I bought those. Yeah, I haven't seen those in a long time, and I feel like, I don't know, it's something different. Maybe I'll get lucky and get something, or I'll catch a fat saw guy or something.
I was gonna say saw guy right there.
Mm-hmm. So got some Joshies and a couple other things, but yeah, it was awesome. They sell boats, but yeah, it's the Outdoor Shop up in Salina. It's about an hour and a half away, but it was awesome. The amount of evergreen they had all the 6 cents rods. They had a ton of 6 cents stuff. So if you like 6 cents, they had a ton of that. Every owner terminal tackle you can imagine, treble baits or treble hooks, shaky heads, jungle flipping. They had every jungle flipping size. I mean, they had a ton of stuff, but they had 0 Shimano reels, man. Just Iowas.
That's weird.
Josh would be happy, but
that sounds like a good. Sounds like a good place for somewhere to have Douglas rods.
It is, and I thought I'm actually gonna call up to him and talk to him about that.
Yeah, I've been talking to Kevin about putting them in Vance, so I might call them up and talk to him. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. I was gonna. I thought about it. There was 2 guys who were working there. The owner wasn't there that day, so I didn't talk to anybody about it. But I've been thinking about it because they had 6 cents rods. The team 6 cents, which pick those rods up. Not bad. They feel fine. I
didn't even know they made rods.
They do, and they're like super. I've never fished with them, so I'm not going to talk to their performance like at all. I'm not going to mention if I think they're bad or good because I've never fished with them at all. So I'll put that out there. I don't know what it was about it. It was almost, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't, when I say glittery, they didn't have any glitter on them, but they were just bougie. They were bougie rods. Like the handles were full carbon fiber.
Oh, I got you.
The butts were super light, but the rod blank was heavy, so it like kind of offset the weight. Felt weird in my hand. But I mean, they had good parabolic bend. They felt fine. So I thought about it, and they're priced at like $170, which isn't a bad, like for a medium end rod. That's a decent price point. So
yeah, that's not bad.
Maybe they're money. I probably need to try to get one to see if it's good or not. But yeah. So,
well, there was another thing that came out today. I wanted to hit this real quick. MLF made some changes. Did you see that?
I did. I saw the post.
They made some rule changes.
They did. I kind of skimmed through it, but break it down.
So they're not doing as many as you can catch anymore. They're doing your best 5 weight wise. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm about it. So like those tournaments that they did when it's like, you catch as many as you can, you have the different phases, and on phase 1, whoever, the top, I can't remember how many with weight gets to the phase 2, and then phase 2 they slim it down, and phase 3. That's great for TV for people who might not, because it's super fast paced, right? So you're catching 30 fish in 2 hours, and you got 70 pounds or whatever, something stupid. I mean, they've been some crazy stuff, and you're catching, you're not really focusing on getting your 5 best fish. You're just focusing on getting a fish that's a pound or more to count. So you'll see anglers they're making thousands of casts. So you'll see a lot more bigger fish come in on those. Whenever you watch an MLF, that was, as many fish as you can catch. There was multiple 7+ pounders caught in the day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Double digit fish, but you have 90 guys throwing 1,000 to 2,000 casts an hour. So it's gonna happen. But as a traditional fisherman, because I came from fishing boat tournaments where your best 5 is what you got judged on. So I'm a fan of it. I don't know how. I kind of liked the format MLF was doing because it got people who weren't like me to watch the sport and get into the sport because they're seeing such high weights and big fish, and the anglers seem to be a little bit more relaxed, so they're talking about what they're doing as they're doing it. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's not really a different change. It's just going back to what is traditional bass fishing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just know there's a lot of people who are upset about it just because they like that fast paced. And me personally, like I don't watch fishing. I think watching fishing is the most boring thing on the planet. But MLF was kind of interesting because like those guys would just pull them out one after another. I was like, all right, I can bear this.
yeah, see,
But-
that's where like on a lot of things, you and me are in opposite spectrums. Like I'll watch
Yeah.
baseball. I know you don't particularly
Oh my
like watching
gosh, I'd
baseball.
rather kill myself.
Exactly. So I mean, we're in opposite spectrums, but I'll watch a Bassmaster event. I love watching them. I think it's awesome. I watch, like, Scott Martin has a YouTube channel where he films his whole tournament days. I'll watch those. And I enjoy that. But there's the majority of people are like you who hate watching Bassmasters because they feel like it's slow, and it is slow. It really is. But the MLF style was bringing in guys like you who were like, okay, I can watch this and enjoy this, and it keeps my attention because it's, oh, Jordan Lee's caught blah, blah, blah. Okay, now we're going to go over here. Now we're going to go over here. And every time they change, someone's catching a fish, and they're catching multiple fish. Like there was one tournament I was watching. They were on Kevin Van Dam, and every cast he was throwing deep crank, and he got a fish every cast for like 10 minutes.
That's cool, man.
And it was just boom, boom, boom.
I think that's just
fast-paced.
me like living through them because I know that never happens for me. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, except for that one day we went on that stretch and we caught like 100 fish between 3 people.
That's true. That was a good day.
That was a good day.
What was that? The other thing I was going to say, oh yeah, like we were talking in the Paddle and Fin group chat last week. Everybody's like, "Oh, movies! Check out this movie." I'm like, I can't sit through a 2-hour movie. Like it drives me nuts. I don't know.
See, that's like
I'm the same way with fishing.
Yeah, I can't watch TV shows like everyone does. It bugs me. Like if a show comes out every week, it's hard for me to stay into it. Like Game of Thrones, for example, I didn't watch that until it was like 6 seasons in because I could binge 6 seasons straight. I just lose interest. Like I could really like the show on Sunday when it comes out, and by Thursday I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch the show anymore. I don't care anymore. But with movies, I'm sitting there, it's 2 hours, kind of forcing myself to watch it. And I can get into movies a little bit more, but I'm slowly becoming like that too. Like I don't like watching TV or movies, but I'll watch fishing.
Yeah.
I'll watch baseball. I used to watch golf a lot, but I don't do that anymore. But I watch fishing, I watch baseball, and then I watch football. That's about my TV experience. And then I just binge crap on Netflix because why not?
Football and UFC for me.
Yeah, I never got into UFC, but teach their own.
Back to the MLF though, there's a lot of guys like saying they think it's going to bring more of the pros back over from Bassmaster. You're going to see a lot of bigger names, bigger hammers coming back.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's a double-edged sword, right? So there's guys like me who like that style of fishing and want to see those big names. Like I would love to see Edwin come in and just start smoking people, and because that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's like I don't want to say because these guys are pros, right? So even the lowliest pro on the tour probably knows more and can catch more fish than I can. Just how it is. It's the same way as when people watch football, and I'm a Browns fan, so I can automatically tell you, I automatically feel like I can be a better football player than 90% of my team any given Sunday. But obviously that's not the case. But when all these big hammers come back, you're going to see a lot of those guys who were doing well kind of drop back off the radar. I honestly think this probably wasn't the best move just because it's kind of, I don't know, it's almost closing the wagons on the sport to where your big names are going to keep, stay in the top, and all your breakout guys, unless they are just crazy, they're not going to have a chance.
I'm just curious how Jacob Wheeler is going to fare in this new format.
I mean, I think he's going to be all right. Wheeler's one of those guys who he's a traditional fisherman. Like this format was new for tournament bass fishing. So a lot of these guys can fall back on their best 5, and Wheeler, like guys like Wheeler, Polnick, Jordan Lee, all of them, they can fall right back in the best 5 fish because they fish other tournaments that are best 5. So, but it's your guys who are getting into these who are like, okay, well, I'm going against Jordan Lee or Kevin Van Dam, but it's whoever catches the most fish. So if you get on a school and they're all 1 pound or more and you catch 40 fish, that's 40 pounds right there.
Yeah.
I mean, so everyone kind of has a chance as long as they, do their due diligence and kind of find schools and stuff, or just find a big one. They can get big bass because big bass every hour, like they pay out for that. So we'll have to see. I'm curious to see how it fares and how the fishing community takes it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just thought I'd bring it up just because
none
of the other shows will probably cover it. Maybe Jimmy might say something, but it's whatever. But with that said, man, let's just get into our topic.
I'm down.
So we've done this show pretty much every year this time of the year. But Matt's new to it, so I want to get his perspective on it, and then I want to recap some of the stuff I use. So cold water fishing, we're going to talk a little bit about the gear that we use. Matt is new, like I said, so he's like new to all of it. He has all this new gear that he hasn't even tried yet. So I want to just hear like his setup from start to finish. And yeah.
So I mean, just starting at the very beginning, I think just like Brad said, I'm totally new to cold water fishing. I've never been in a kayak when water temps can kill you. And the big thing last year, I didn't go out because of a dry suit. I think that's your cornerstone of fishing cold. So I didn't have a dry suit. I
tried getting you to go though.
Oh, he tried. He kept trying. He's like, you got waders, and I was like, yeah, I have waders. But worst case, I'm one of the guys who I plan everything. And I was thinking, dude, if I fall in with waders and I find a 5-foot hole and they fill up with water, I'm just gonna die. Like
I was trying to get you dead, man.
He just
that was stupid of me, but I was just like,
he just wants all my stuff because he knows he's in the will to get all my reels and stuff. That's only why. So over the spring and summer, for people who don't know, dry suits are ridiculously expensive. Like they are dumb expensive, and I've been blessed to have opportunities with companies, so I can get stuff a little bit cheaper on occasion, but it's still not cheap, right? Like I'm not rich. I'm just like there's that meme. Everybody says I'm doing really well and I have all this nice stuff and they think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm just irresponsible.
Yeah.
But so I got a dry suit, and off Brad's recommendation, I got the NRS Extreme SAR.
I don't know what that stands for. I've never seen that.
I don't either. I just know it had
search and rescue.
Search and rescue. Yeah.
I bet.
I would. Well, they have a rescue suit that has like the yellow. These are yellow. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
you got your Elmo, dude. We got Big Bird, Elmo, and Oscar the Grouch now. Justin has a green one.
Yep, about to say I'm the Elmo.
Gang.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the new hashtag on Facebook.
I'm about it, dude. I'm so ready for it. But the NRS dry suits, there's a lot of companies who make them, but NRS is kind of known for them. But Brad just kind of explained to me, hey, these are the things that you need. Actually, I didn't get the SAR. I got just the regular Extreme because the SAR doesn't have the neoprene or the gasket up here. It's a neoprene gasket instead of a rubber gasket.
That's a semi-dry.
Yeah, this is a semi-dry suit. But it's the same concept. So Brad was telling me, looking, because he's been doing this for a minute. He's like, you got to get a relief strap or relief zipper is the first thing, which is this right there.
Yep. You gotta let your dingle wiggle out when you go pee.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a bad time taking that thing off, man. Putting it back on.
I mean, it's like when you're in waders trying to pull, a 3-inch out of a 6-inch wader. So, but so that was like the first thing. And I as someone who does a lot of things outdoors, I look at it in the woods and on the river. The world is my toilet, so I'm gonna do it. So I'd rather make it easier on me. But so these dry suits, like I said, I have a rubber gasket. Mine is a complete dry suit, mostly for 2 reasons. 1, they last a lot longer if you take care of them. And 2, I'm deathly afraid of getting hypothermia. I've had it before. It really sucks. I almost died. So I'm not dealing with it again. So when he kept saying, he's like, "Oh, get a semi-dry suit. It's neoprene gasket. It's going to be more comfortable. And I was just thinking, yeah, until I get wet and then I'm freezing and want to die. So,
well, the thing with the semi-dry suit, people like I have to clear that up a little bit. People think you're going to get drenched. You're not going to get drenched. It's going to feel like you're sweating. Like if you
which
fall
I hate.
in, you know what I mean?
I hate that. Like I hate that feeling. It's the same way. Like the reason I don't wear jeans like ever is because if I'm outside doing something, even just walking around like a park, if I do get sweaty, I hate the feeling of damp clothes on me.
Yeah.
So that's why, like today, walk into our spot because the spot's like a quarter mile away. I've got this big deer cart full with like 3 dozen decoys plus a bunch of electronic movers and a bunch of weights. Think the whole cart probably weighs 100 pounds. And I had a sweatshirt on under like my waders, and I had a sweatshirt, and I was like, dude, I can't. I had to take my sweatshirt off because it was starting to get sweaty, and I just hate the feeling. It just bugged.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like pins on my skin. But yeah, I got the NRS Extreme with the rubber gaskets. I will say, getting your head through that rubber gasket is like coming out the birth canal. It is a pain in the butt.
I'm picturing the scene from Ace Ventura when he comes out.
Yeah, when he comes out the rhino.
That's hilarious.
And it was like that when I put it on first. I was like squeezing my head, and my wife was in there like looking to put on this massive thing, and my head's like halfway out to where it's like my hair is sticking out, and I was like, this is like, how is this happening? And I'm just squeezing, like looking like I'm coming out of a womb, and but it likes to squeeze, which Brad told me the best thing to do is get like a volleyball or something, put it in the gasket to work it out, which mine's had a volleyball in it for like a month, so it should be nice and worn in by now. Yeah, should be is the key word there. But with the dry suits, you know, there's little booties at the bottom, so your feet are covered. And it's, if you do fall in, Brad, explained this to me when I was first talking to him. If you do fall in, it's not so you can stay in. They're not waders. It's not going to keep you warm. It's just going to keep you dry. So if you fall in, you still have to get out. But this is like the first line and cornerstone line of defense against falling in the water. If you fall in, you're not going to just get hypothermia and die immediately.
Yeah, it buys you some time.
It's exactly, yeah. That's what I was trying to think in my head as I was talking what you said, but it buys you time. It's a time. That's all it does. It just lets you get out of the water so you can get warm and warm back up. Because at the end of the day, cold water it's a killer. If it's cold enough and you don't have any protection, hypothermia can set in within 2 minutes and you can die. So it's nothing to screw around with. But yeah, so in this system, the only thing that would be exposed is going to be my head and my hands. So I went from doing the boundary, or I was going to get different boots. I'll preference this. I don't want to get these boots. They're good boots. I just don't want them. But I'm probably going to have to end up getting the NRS boundary boots.
Mm-hmm. Those are a popular choice. I mean, the only bad thing is you got to tuck the pants into them. You can't put them over.
Yeah, which is what I don't want to do. I'd rather have my pants be over, which is why I was looking at the NRS work boot.
Yeah, it's the same thing, just not calf.
Exactly, but it's back ordered till March of next year, so I kind of missed the window. I wasn't on top of it, but again, that dry suit set me back. Like I had to save to get it, even at a little cheaper price. It wasn't like that much, so I mean, it set me back. So I wasn't buying $100 pair of boots right then and there. But I've got the NRS boundary boots on the way here. I sized up, and you size up. What is that, a Reese? Oh, you lucky dog! I could go for a cup right now. You're a man. But you got to size up because you're gonna layer in, just like the NRS dry suit. I got a 2X. I probably could have got an XL and been okay. But as Brad knows, I hate being cold. Like I am a girl when it comes to even being chilly. Like I don't deal with it well. So I'm gonna be layered up. So I got a little bit bigger dry suit so I can put tons of layers underneath. And the same thing with the boot. I'm going 2 sizes up for the simple fact that I'm gonna have wool socks on.
Yeah, you're not going to be hiking far with them on either, so it's not
exactly. I'm about to say winter fishing is mostly like we're not really doing floats, and we're not really dragging to spots that often. We're going to a spot, hitting it for a couple hours, and then getting out.
Yeah,
like it's not like we're dredging through country getting to it.
Well, in one spot we do that, but it's whatever.
Yeah, but it's still not even that far. But yeah, so I'm going to go with these. Sizing up also has got to help getting the dry suit into the boot because, like Brad said, these are full calf boots. So, I mean, I'm going to have to stuff the dry suit down into it. But what a lot of people know this just because they've been told their whole life, if you're cold, make sure your feet are warm. Heat leaves the bottom of your feet the quickest and the top of your head. So that's why your head needs to be warm and your feet need to be warm. And your whole body will be warm because you're retaining heat more. It's also a really easy way to overheat in the summer, so don't do that. But
you hit a good point real quick. Talking about the head. So there's what is that thing called? There, NRS makes a hood. I forget.
Yes.
And I've been wanting to buy it. I just haven't gotten to it. It's called the Storm Hood. And it's a neoprene. It covers your whole head except for your face. And it has like a little bill for like a hat. So I think it's like 5mm. So if that's the case, I mean, you're going to be completely covered except for your face. Then you can wear a face shield over top of that. Probably keep your
that's a Storm Hood right here. Like you said, it has, you know, the little thing. It comes out. It's like a hat. So if you liked having a hat on, you're going to still have that protection there. And then you could still wear a what's it called? A gaiter over your face. And they make not heated gaiters, but thicker gaiters that are like wool. So I mean, you can be nice and warm, which is 2.5mm. So, but that's still 2.5mm is enough to protect you from decent winds.
Yeah. And then you can wear a toboggan over top of it too.
Exactly. Like when it comes to winter fishing and being outdoors in the winter at all, whether I'm deer hunting, I mean, I duck hunt in December and deer hunt in December, layers are important.
Yeah. And that's a good point too. I'm sure you can use this dry suit for duck hunting out of a stand or something. You just got to cover up with another layer of stuff over top of it, like camo.
Yeah. I mean, you could for sure. I will say I have, and I'm a big fan. A lot of people don't like these waders, but I have some banded Red Zone 2.0s. They're 1,600 1,600 grams of insulate. So, I mean, the water, I've been in 30-degree water and I don't even feel it. Like it's just, I'm warm as warm, but I'm layered underneath. So just because you have thick waders or dry suit, if you went out in the middle of winter with just a dry suit on and underwear and a t-shirt underneath, you're going to be cold.
Woo, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're going to be freezing. So that's why you have to layer up. NRS sells some great layering that you can get. I use First Light for hunting and for fishing. First Light's a hunting brand. They make all their underlayers are made of merino wool, so they can get wet, but they still keep you warm. Which is awesome, especially for deer hunting. Like there's some spots that I hunt that are swampy and I'm going through and water will splash up and I can feel it getting wet, but I still stay warm, which, you know, if you're uncomfortable, no matter what you're doing in life, if you're uncomfortable, you're not going to want to do it. So staying comfortable as like,
that's true, man.
As prissy as that sounds, if you go out and you can be the hardest man in the world and you go out and you're cold, you're going to fish for an hour and be like, oh, well, you'll find an excuse not to be there. Yeah. But if I go out and I'm warm, it doesn't matter if the fish are biting or not. I'm comfortable, so I don't care.
You can make that relatable to kayak fishing too, because there's guys out there who have fished out of kayaks, like sit inside kayaks, and they hated it when they first started and made them not want to get into another kayak.
And it ruined it. That's why, I mean, I sold kayaks for a little while and I talk to people all the time about, you know, they say, oh, what kayak should I get? And I say, the first thing you do is try whatever kayaks you're looking at, but make sure they're comfortable for you. Because if they're not, you're not going to want it. You're just going to hate it. Even if it paddles well, even if you can stand and it has the most stability in the world, if you're sitting down, your back hurts or your butt hurts all day, you're not going to want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So comfortability is a big thing that a lot of people don't take into account. They just want, you know, the best kayak in the market could come out and you get it and it's uncomfortable for you. Well, it doesn't matter how much you spin on it. You don't want to be in it because you're uncomfortable the whole time you're in it. So,
yeah, I agree. 100%. But for the most part, once you get used to wearing these dry suits and stuff, you don't even think about it. Like the first few times I wore it, you know, I felt like I was getting choked out, but you get used to it. And after that initial thing, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think like for me, because it'll be the same way. I'll probably feel like I'm being choked out, or I'll be a little claustrophobic. Even with putting that volleyball on the neck, it's still gonna feel a little tight, which is what it's supposed to do. It's just getting used to it. But for me, when stuff like that, and it never really bothers me a whole lot because I know it's serving a purpose. So, like, I know I'm in the dry suit. It might be uncomfortable right now, but I won't think about it too much because I know A, I'm gonna be warm, and B, if I fall in, I'm not gonna die. So, like, that's gonna overshadow any uncomfortable I have.
Yeah. What was the price on that NRS Extreme? I missed it.
It's $9.99 is regular price. They have a couple semi-dry suits that are around the $600 mark. But everyone out there is listening to this. I can tell you right now, no matter what brand you look at, the cheapest you'll find a decent, because you get what you pay for. The cheapest you'll find a decent dry suit, no matter what company, is going to be between like $450 and $600.
Yeah.
They're expensive, but it's an investment, just like everything else you do. For all the guys who complain, about buying dry suits or something like that, but they have $500 rods. Okay, well, why did you buy a $500 rod? Well, I really wanted the best rod I can get. Okay, you got what you paid for. It's the same concept with dry suits. Any gear that you buy, you're getting it. You're paying an X amount of dollars for it, but it's an investment. Dry suits aren't going to go bad. They're not going to shrink on you
unless you get hooked or something and rip a hole in it. That would suck.
And that's not something that's super common. I mean, it's not like it's going to happen every second of every day. Like, you'd have to really, even if you get, because they make patch kits, so to get a big
patch kit,
it does. But if you got a giant hole in it, because let's say a treble hook got stuck in it, well, the treble hook got stuck in it, and then you decided to be like a caveman and try to rip it out with your bare hands, and you just made the hole bigger. Like, it's your own fault. Like, just take the time to get it out.
I had a pinhole in one of my footies last year or the year before. I can't remember. I had to fill up the foot with water and squeeze it to see where it's coming out. It started coming out like a udder, like you're milking a cow. I was like, oh, there it is. Sweet. So I put a little bit of some kind of sealant stuff I got. I dabbed it on both sides, let it dry, and it's good ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's for all the people out there who listen, who dunk hunt or use waders and they wade. If you get a hole in your boot, which is super common, you just go out and you get either rubber shoe glue or a patch kit. You patch the hole and you go on with your day. It's the same concept. It's just maintaining your tools that you're using.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't expect everything to be. I've got an Antares. I don't know where it's at. I don't know what I just did. I got an Antares that's missing a clutch butt right now because I used the crap out of the reel and the clutch butt fell off.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the GMR right now, which sucks because the clutch button's $92.
Oh my gosh.
For a stupid button. I can still use it. It just hurts my thumb.
Yeah.
So it's there until I figure out. I don't know. I might try to make one of these buttons work or something, break something.
I will say though, the pinhole in my booty, that was my fault because I was wearing tennis shoes with it. Guys, don't do that. Wear a boot that doesn't allow like rocks and stuff to get in, because from the way I got it was from getting into the kayak when we first started, and I got rocks in my shoe, ended up like standing on them. It punctured the hole in it and everything like that. So get the boots.
And that's the big reason why, while those boundary boots are they're not bad boots. They're super popular and they're good boots, but they're nice for that, especially if you wanted to fish in the summer with it and you do a lot like what we do when we drag over narrow stuff. Nothing's getting in your boot.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's all the way up the calf.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my WTB wet shoes are the same. I wear those in the summertime too, and I don't get rocks inside those. And those are 6-inch or 8-inch. I don't know.
6-inch because they're the same height as what my NRS wet shoes are, and I wear those in the summer. I could technically wear those with waders or with the dry suit. The only negative is, yes, the dry suit's going to keep me dry, but those shoes like to let a lot of water in.
Yeah.
Because it's more like a neoprene outside. So while it'll keep my feet dry, the dry suit, there's still going to be water right there, and you're going to feel the cold. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So those the boundary boot is known for not letting as much water in. So
are you planning on getting any neoprene socks or anything?
I've been looking at them.
I have been too. I've never used them. I just thought that maybe they might be good over top of a pair of wool socks.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've never used them either, so I don't really know. It's kind of be like if I do get them, it'll be like that shot in the dark, and I hope they work. But I've also thought about before I bought the boundary boots I've got muck boots, and I'll just use those because they're shin high.
Yeah.
The only bad thing with those is if you get any water over them, they will fill up with water immediately.
Yeah.
And they just won't unfill. Like you have to take the whole boot off, dump it out, and it will stay wet. So that's why I kind of went away from that. But yeah, I think the neoprenes would be nice. The only bad thing with that is I could feel that my feet are going to get too hot because they're going to trap in any type of sweat or anything from the wool.
Yeah, that's the bad part. Like the worst part I have in the winter is trying to keep my feet warm. And it's because you're getting in the water right off the bat, then you're sweating because I have sock, I have hand warmers, and then I have a wool sock underneath the dry suit. So my feet start sweating. Once your feet start sweating in the cold weather, your feet are going to get cold.
Yep. You need to look at some merino wool socks.
I know, man.
They're breathable.
Moisture wicking.
They're moisture wicking, but they keep, like I said, it's the same thing First Light makes all their layers with. They're breathable, but they keep you warm even when they're wet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I need to figure out the foot thing, but my hands, I think I got that covered pretty well, but the feet, definitely. I was going to say the other thing, before the winter even starts, get you a big, huge industrial-sized box of hand warmers. That's huge.
I have a giant bag of them. Hand warmers, toe warmers. I've got everything. I've got 2 boxes in the truck for hunting, and then I'll just use for fishing too, and just stuff them where I need them.
Yeah.
For hands, that's one thing I'm gonna be. So my feet don't get cold very often, but my hands do. Like my hands are the one thing that gets cold super quick, and once my hands get cold, they start to stiffen up, and then I start getting uncomfortable, and I start getting pissed off that I'm doing anything. But Brad had a pair of these, and he let me use them. These are the Fish Monkey
I love
woolly
those gloves, man.
And they are ridiculously warm. Like I fished for a whole day in the middle of, I think it was February when we went out, and my hands really weren't that cold. My fingertips were cold, but it's because I didn't have another pair of gloves.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, I would with those. I would definitely wear like another pair of like real tight like silk gloves. You know what I mean? Underneath those.
Yeah,
which
just
is
something to keep you warm.
That's what I do. So I'll have like a thin glove on, and then I'll put my hand warmer in my palm, and then those gloves over top. Keep the hand warmer in your palm, so when you're holding your rod, the hand warmer's pressed up against your hand. No issues.
Yeah, you'll stay nice and warm. And I did kind of something like that. Like I said, I wasn't prepared for what I was going out into. Like I was just wearing, I think I had my Sims rain gear on, which that stuff is super thick. It's meant to be used in inclement weather. So I was fairly warm, and I had a pair of sweatpants, 2 pairs of sweatpants on underneath. And then I had my Sims rain jacket on because the other ones were bibs. Had my Sims jacket on, a sweatshirt, and then a long sleeve thermal underneath. So my body was warm, and my feet surprisingly weren't that bad. But my hands were just freezing. So Brad let me use these woolly gloves. Got a pair of those like 4 days after that. Just ordered them because they're awesome. The negative with these gloves, it is that woolly, like that material. If a treble hook sees it, it's just going to get stuck in it. It doesn't have to get near it. If it sees it, a jerk bait or a crankbait, something will find it and get stuck. So if you're tying and stuff like that, you either have to be super meticulous about tying, not getting it anywhere near your gloves, or take your gloves off, tie, and then put your gloves back on.
Yeah. That's the bad thing about the Fish Monkey gloves. I have the ones that aren't fingerless, so I got to take off to tie. But once you put them back on with the hand warmers and stuff, it warms up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm about to say it warms up. It warmed up fairly quick for me. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of them. But that's pretty much what I've got so far. And obviously, it's the first year I'm going to be doing this a lot. So every winter I've bank fished, gone out, walked around, and if I get cold, I just start walking and I warm back up. So I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that I'll look and I'll find and think, oh, that'll help. And change how I do stuff. But that's kind of where I'm at. So, Brad, you've been doing this for a minute now, doing your winter fishing. So kind of go through some of the
3 years, 2 years,
which is a lot more experience that a lot of people have. I mean, most people, you say kayak in cold water and they say, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. So kind of go through, I know I've got a lot of my gear based off your recommendations, but kind of go through the stuff that you've been using that you found success in and things like that.
Well, I went over the feet. I went over the hands already. And like I said, I have the NRS Extreme also, which being affiliated with the shop and doing all these shows, that was my payment for doing that. So I was fortunate for that. Yeah. Underneath though, like I wear base layers. My mom bought me this base layer for Christmas one year. She had no idea that I needed base layers. She just bought it for me, and it's meant for skiers, but it's still moisture wicking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been wearing that. It's like a long john set type thing, real tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really comfortable. It feels good. Over top that, I'll wear another long sleeve like thermal shirt, and then over top that, I'll wear a crew neck sweatshirt. And then for my bottoms, usually I'll wear joggers, and that's it, I think. And then I don't wear 2 pair of joggers. I can't remember. I think it's just 1 pair of joggers, and then the socks, of course. And
yeah.
Usually I'm good though. Like I've waded in that water, like 37-degree water. I've waded in it. Like I can feel the cold, but it's not unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. So, I mean, what a lot of people don't realize, if you get to an extent to where you can do something and it doesn't feel unbearable, like you just said, it's perfect wording for it. You kind of just keep doing it. Like you understand it's cold, but you're able to do it. So
I have this one picture of me and Justin. So back in like 2014, when 2015, it was the winter after we got our kayaks. We were idiots, man. So we both had sit-in kayaks. We would launch down at the Miamisburg Dam, go downstream, and we would catfish off the bank at this one spot. We caught catfish, dude. Every time we went out there, we caught catfish. I was just like, and it was funny because we're sitting there using medium light rods, medium rods, spinning rods, and we prop them up against the stick, throw some chicken liver out there and catch catfish. But the stupid part was wearing hoodies and waders, and that's it.
Jeez. You were testing the waters, man.
Which we didn't paddle far. I mean, it's like a half mile down, half mile back but still,
Well, in that half mile, were you around any houses or anything, or was it kind of going out of town?
It was. I mean, the bike.
So there was a bike path
right there, but yeah, there's no houses though.
All right, so if you fall in the water, half mile becomes the half mile to the funeral home.
Yeah,
hypothermia can set in quick. I mean, it's and you don't get warm quick either. Like. There's some scary stories out there that you can go out. Meat Eater did a great in their campfire episodes. A guy was a guide in Alaska on a caribou hunt, and he took his boat, and it was at night. He didn't have any navigation lights because he's an idiot. If you go out at night in a kayak or a boat, put lights on. Don't be stupid.
Well, you have to in Ohio.
Yeah, but people still don't do it.
Yeah, you got to have the 360 light and the 2 green and red lights if you have a motor.
Yeah, the Christmas lights in the front.
Yeah.
But he didn't, and he fell in the water when he banked up or something. And he was trying to swim to the other side. Jeez. He swam to the other side. He got hypothermia, and he got to the other side, but he started getting delirious within 10 minutes of getting to the other side. And with hypothermia, you don't feel cold anymore, and that's how you know you're about to die. Like your body is shutting down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it can happen quick. So definitely you learn from your past experiences, because that wasn't smart.
We did a float, what is it, the end of March this year down south. It was the very first float we took you on. And the water was like 50-something degrees, 52, 53, something like that.
Yeah, it was in there.
We were all, like, it was warm outside, but we were all, like, wading in the water. I'm like, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, we weren't smart. And I knew it too because I started getting freezing. But that was also the day that I wore shorts.
And you
So
got sunburned.
I was super freezing, but then I kept going. The sun came out, and I got burnt so bad that I almost I wanted to die. I could barely walk.
Oh man!
And I knew not to wear shorts either, but I was like, well, it's like 65 degrees out. It's finally warm. I'm gonna wear shorts. Yeah, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember I caught a 20 that day, and I was waiting when I caught it, and I was just sitting there like, "Ooh, this water's cold."
Yeah, it's like you caught a 20. Justin caught, I think, a 17 or 18. I caught an 18 and a half. Like it was a good day for it. Like they were biting, but yeah, that water was freezing because I went up to my almost to my quads.
PPD.
I was just getting there. If I was a little bit more well endowed, I would have been there. And,
shout out to DarkHorseTackle. PPD.
Deep, yeah.
We didn't even. Which, by the way, we didn't even mention.
Don't get mad, Josh.
So DarkHorseTackle, we're doing our sponsored segment mid-show.
I would say our mid-show sponsor segment.
Anyway, best bait you've never heard of, 100% made in America. If you decide to go subscribe, go to the website, use Paddle20 to save 20% off your first monthly subscription.
And it is something that like I say every episode, you won't regret getting it, no matter which box you get, whether it's the dabble pack or all the way to the champ box like I get. You will be super pumped with the stuff you get. Quality baits, great blanks, great paint jobs. It's awesome.
The code will not work with the champ box, by the way. He informed me of that the other day, and I'm like, well, did not know that.
Well, I mean, good to go, but still, it's the champ box. Like I pay for that every month. While we're sponsored by the show, we'll sometimes get dabble packs or something from them, but I pay for this box every single month. I have since April of this year, and I'm not going to turn it off. The baits I'm getting are insane, and I'm a big fan of them. I mean, so far from the champ box, I filled up a whole crankbait box.
Same here. I got like 4 in one spot right now.
Yeah, and a swim bait box. Like I filled up a swim bait box in the amount of time. Like you would be paying hundreds of dollars more than what I've already paid for this, and I've filled up a whole swim bait box, which is one of the Plano deep boxes. This is the second box that's getting full right now. This is box number 2.
I'm gonna buy me another box too.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I forgot to talk. I was gonna talk to you before the show. I was like, yeah, dude, I have to get another crankbait box because like my boxes are full.
That's cool though. That's where I want to get to by this time next year.
Well, you think that, but I've got a bunch of baits I don't even remember I bought. Yeah. Also, shout out to Nikko Baits since we're doing the sponsorship. They are also a sponsor of the show. Some of the best super plastic baits you can ever get your hands on. I promise the bait will not wear out until you lose the bait itself.
Just as good as D-Man baits.
Just as good, and to me, it feels a little bit denser. They feel like a little bit higher quality bait. And I can attest to this. Brad can attest to this. A couple other people that we've given the baits to try. I mean, I've caught 40 plus fish on a bait before I lost it, and the bait still looked brand spanking new.
Yeah, so it's impressive.
Oh, to say the least. We had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Go back, take a look, listen. It's a long episode, but I promise you'll enjoy it. Yeah, also sponsored by Nikko Baits. And then once we get into the holidays, keep an eye out because we'll be doing something with them. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Sweet. I didn't know that. That reminds me, we're coming up on, I think we'll have 2 December shows and then we'll be on break. So we're coming up quick. We'll have a few, like 6 more shows left this year. So
yeah, if I say time's moving, man, it's crazy to think. I was talking to a buddy today. It's like, it's crazy. It's already the end of October.
Yeah.
Like it flew by. I mean, I felt like it was just yesterday we were at Dale Hollow or the Cincinnati Expo in the beginning of the year when we were driving through ice.
I don't know why. I can't wait for Expo season. I keep forgetting. That's cool. Can't wait.
Yeah. This year I didn't get to go to the Columbus, but this year I want to go to the Columbus Expo and the Cincinnati Expo. Wanted to go to both. So
we'll go to both.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add? Because we kind of went off the reservation with the sponsorship segment.
It's all good. We had to get that done. So
we did. I agree.
Cold water gear. Let's see.
So we covered head. We covered. Well, we didn't cover head yet. Like we talked about. You need to keep warmth, but for because you don't have the storm hood, So what have you been using to keep your head, ears, and stuff warm? Because the ears are like, to me, if my ears get cold, it's like my hands. Like they get that like
done.
pin. Yeah, it just pisses me off. I get mad. So
yeah. So this is random. One year I got a big, huge crate in the mail from Mountain Dew. I don't know if I ever told you this or not. Did I?
No.
They messaged me on Instagram. They're like, "Hey, we want to send you a big outdoors crate." It was like during one of their outdoors campaigns. I'm like, "Sweet, here's my address." They sent me a huge crate, and I still use some of the stuff in it. I use the silky gloves that they sent. They sent a face mask. I still wear that. They sent a thermal long sleeve shirt. I wear that underneath the dry suit.
Yeah.
And a couple other ice what is that? Ice Mule cooler. And then and then like a long tube. It was like a cooler that held 6 cans, a long cooler tube. And it was all branded Mountain Dew and stuff. But yeah, they sent me that. I thought that was cool. But I use the face shield the most. It's made of fleece. That thing is awesome, dude. Plus, it says Mountain Dew on it, so of course I'm gonna wear it.
Did they send you actually any Mountain Dew in the package?
Oh, did they? Yeah, I think they did. I think it was like 2 12-packs.
Jeez, that's like $9.
I know.
Per pack.
Yeah.
So that's a good deal. Like just that's worth it.
I'm pretty sure I got some Mountain Dew with it. I can't remember 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Hey, if anybody listening to the show works for Mountain Dew, I promise no one has drank more than me. So
they did. They did. It came in a separate package. I remember now.
There you go.
They wrapped up 12 packs in like a big box. But yeah, that was cool. So I use that fleece face shield. It's like a neck gaiter kind of thing, but it's not as tight. And then I'll put that over my ears, over top of the head. I'll put a toboggan on. So Catch Flow, I want a giveaway from them, and they sent me a toboggan that has like their logo on it. It's pretty cool. So I'll wear that over top. And then there's something else I was just missing. I just can't remember. That might be it though. But I mean, no issues there. I might keeps my head warm. Actually, too warm because my head is burning up. My ears are burning fire when we get done fishing.
Yeah, it better be burning fire than freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is one thing.
There's another toboggan I wear. I have like this Pittsburgh Pirates toboggan that.
Yeah,
really nice. It's like wool lined inside.
Dale Hollow.
Yep.
Yeah, you were wearing that down there. That's one thing I need to invest in. I have toboggans. I've got plenty of them just from hunting and stuff. But I don't have. I had a real heavy gator that it wasn't fleece lined, but it was super thick and it was made for cold weather. But I don't know where that went. Like it's just gone. I'm pretty sure it's down here in my mess of crap I've got everywhere. But yeah, I don't know where that went to. Actually, did I just find it? No, that's my Huck one. That would have been cool though. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting
Columbia PFG hat.
Shut up. No, but I need to invest in a fleece gaiter to keep my face warm. But the bad thing with that is I don't know. The reason why I have a ton of these gaiters that I use in the summer and stuff.
Yeah.
Because skin cancer is a thing. Matt Allen showed us all that. And
hey guys.
It's so annoying. He knows so much. I can't be mad at him. But I've got a ton of those, but I don't wear them. I'll go out with the intention to wear them. I'll wear them for 30 minutes, and I'm like, this is stupid. And I was like, I said on a float we did this year, I was wearing one. I was like, this is dumb. I'll just get cancer and die. I don't care. And I took it off because it just bugs my face. So I'm gonna have to the neoprene or the rubber gasket. That's not gonna bother me, but wearing a gaiter is gonna bug the crap out of me. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way. Maybe cut a hole in the nose so I can just breathe because that's what bugs me.
You could get the ski masks; those work too.
I could get a ski mask, but then I don't know, people are gonna see me on the river and think that I'm gonna rob them.
Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of funny. I will say though, the fleece lined face mask that I had from Mountain Dew, it gets condensation on the inside from me breathing, so it gets a little cold when it's pressed up against my face, but
I don't know. I feel almost claustrophobic when have one on. It's just weird. So I'm just gonna have to get over that and deal with it and move on and deal with it. So
yeah, well, it is what it is. But man, I don't have anything else.
I will finish it with this: whether you're going out fishing in the middle of summer when it's 95 degrees or the middle of winter when it's 32, put your PFD on.
Oh yeah.
Just because you have a dry suit, you're not going to float. If anything, you're going to sink faster. So put a PFD on. That's no matter what we're doing, we're wearing a PFD. So don't forget that. I don't think enough people talk about it anymore. So wear one.
I forgot. That brings up a good point too. So if you're wearing an inflatable, make sure you get an inflatable that's rated for cold water, because some of those out there, they're rated for like 45 degrees and above. You want one in Ohio. You want something that's a lot rated for much cooler than that.
Yeah, it's and I've seen them not pop. So
yeah, I don't trust those things, man.
I don't either, because I've seen them not pop in the middle of summer too, or they'll pop like I had a buddy. We actually had a buddy who fell in Dale Hollow.
John Graves did too.
Yeah, he did. But I'm talking about Cam. If you're listening, Cam, I still am going to bring this up, and I know where your rods are at, and I'm going to go get them, and you can't have them back. But he fell in, and his thing didn't pop until he was back on the surface. Once he got surfaced, it popped. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
I don't trust them. I'm just not a fan of them. The NRS Chinook is my choice. I'm actually picking a new one up on Thursday. So,
which another point about the NRS Chinook, they're big and bulky, but they keep body heat in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it helps keep your body warm.
And during the summer, they can be a little hot, but they keep you super warm. So it's just another layering that you have on there to kind of hold on your core body temperature. So
yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I've got nothing else. No, I'm tired too, dude. Like I said, I got up at 3. When I got home today, I got home at 2:30 or 3, and I immediately went to sleep. Like I went to sleep. Stacy, my wife, woke me up when she got home at like 5:30. I set an alarm for 4:30. Didn't wake up. I must have turned it off or something, but I went to sleep and woke up, and it was too long of a nap because I woke up like groggy and I felt like crap.
I hate that.
And I'm just still tired and groggy. So I completely understand where you're coming from, because I've stopped myself from yawning like 9 times so far.
And I can't stop myself from doing it.
Yeah, it's time for bed. It's that time of the day. But guys, that's all we've got for you this week. Definitely, like we said in our impromptu sponsored segment, check out DarkHorseTackle, check out Nikko Baits. You won't be disappointed with either of them. And fishing in the winter, if you're fishing, make sure you have the gear and stuff to keep you safe and comfortable while you're fishing on the water.
Yes, sir. And like we mentioned before, spend the little extra money to get something good, because you're only going to use it a few times every year. So it's not like you're going to wear it out quickly or anything. So that's what we got, man.
Yep. Get what you pay for.
Thanks for listening to the show. Be safe out there. Don't spend your money all in one place.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.